Hello everybody, welcome to Newcastle Fans TV. I'm joined by a special guest today, all the way from Australia. I'm joined by Chris. Thank you very much, Chris, for coming on.
No worries.
So Chris is on the channel just to talk about his experience, obviously living from out in the outback, if that's what I would call it, in Australians' perspective on the tune which is behind the St James's Park. So we're obviously at the Strawberry Pub. What's made you, Chris, come all the way from Queensland?
Obviously family, but getting some matches in. I haven't seen the town play for about 20 years. So as soon as I got off the plane, straight to the ticket office, got tickets for QPR and Derby, and I was jet lagged, but I had to get down and get tickets. Yeah, wouldn't miss it for the world.
Brilliant. Since coming back, has anything changed, like the ground, the city, the weather?
For me, I was 8 years old when I went to Australia, but the main thing that's changed is probably the ground. I remember going with my dad when I was 8 years old, and you had to get through the turnstile and you'd be in the standing section. So when they scored a goal, it'd be like a mosh pit, and you'd just be crushed in there. But yeah, just the facilities and the ground, and I followed everything online since then, but mainly the ground, and mainly probably the ownership as well, just the instability of the club. So they're the main things for me.
Yeah, we'll come on to the owner in a moment. Just going back when you're back home, because obviously a lot of fans don't see this kind of side from the other end of the world, how a Newcastle fan back in Australia watches Newcastle.
Yep.
So what's the ritual of going through a game, and what time do you have to get up? Because I'm sure you have to get up in the middle of the night to watch Newcastle. So how do you go about it?
So if it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, that's 1 o'clock in the morning our time. So my mum and dad live 10 minutes down the road. So I'll jump in the car probably 8 o'clock at night. I'll just watch it through, just watch other Premier League games, and just get a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, get it into me, and yeah, just stay up till 1 in the morning. So if it kicks off at 1, it'll be finished at 3, and if they lose, oh mate, sore head the next day, the worst day. So I'm literally 3 o'clock in the morning going to sleep if I watch them at 1.
Wow, that is pretty impressive considering the time you've got to get up.
Yep.
And what if it's a nighttime game like QPR the other night? If you were back home in Australia,
if it's a nighttime game, it'll be a 5:45 in the morning kickoff. So again, either I'll stay over my mum's place or I'll drive. Just put my alarm on for 5:30. Get down there, get the kettle on, and yeah, it'll be finished by about 8 o'clock.
Wow.
So again, both ways. If they've lost, I've had a bad day. You know what I mean? Bad sleep, or leading into the day. But I'm devoted to watching the club.
That is impressive. You've got to say that. How do you keep in touch with the club? Obviously, being the other end of the world, what do you rely on with your resources and to get in touch with the club?
Like obviously, it'd be Fox Sport through the games, but probably Chronicle.
Yeah.
But then bumping into you on your channel about a year ago.
Thank you very much.
Before you rebranded, I just like to see your passion and going crazy in front of the telly when we lost. So I kept following you, and when you rebranded, it was like you got more professional, and were able to give me more info on under 23s and what's going on with higher levels of the club. Yeah. So more in-depth stuff.
Is like so for like a fans channel in Fox in the Chronicle really important to you because obviously you're the end of the world?
Yeah, look, the games obviously the only way we can watch it is on TV for us. But I mean, I want in-depth information, and I don't want to be biased and say, I don't want to slag the Chronicle off, but it's sort of rehashing old stories. You know what I mean? I like how it's hot off the press. You know what I mean? And it's under 23s or transfers, and it's consistent and constant.
So like a wider depth of the club as well, rather than just the matches. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Right. Do the locals, as in Australians, do they find it odd or even weird that you love football? Because don't they call it soccer over there?
Yeah, they call it soccer, and the main reason is because the other codes of football, like rugby union, Australian rules football, they all call football. So it's very hard to differentiate over there, and there's a bit of a small market for football or sports as well. So they're always competing against each other for talent or time on the television. So it's not like here where you've got your football and you've got your followers of rugby league. They're all media. They're all scrambling for their own piece of the pie, whether that's the talent or the attention from the fans. So it's really interesting, very different way of going about it.
That's totally different from here, because it's literally, like I was saying downstairs to you before, it's 90% football in the UK, then you get a little bit of coverage of rugby league or cricket, so it's a massive difference. So it's interesting that, definitely.
For sure.
Right, let's talk about the club. That's what we're here for mostly. First of all, I want your opinions on the regime at the club.
Well, obviously Ashley's been in charge for what, 8 or 9 years, almost 10 years now. So I didn't, I thought when he first came in that, look, he's going to put some money into the club, advance it forward, but he just tried to run it like a business, and like I just felt he didn't have any heart or passion for the club, didn't understand the supporters or the history, and I just sort of tuned out a little bit. Obviously, Dire Straits getting relegated, something switched in his brain. Yeah. He's decided to...
Is that money?
Money... Look, I'm not sure what's going on in his head, but, just to make a decision to bring Rafa in, I thought... I was praying, you know what I mean? I watched the last game, the 5-0 against Tottenham, and in the adoration of the fans, I was like, God, just please stay, because from a club of our stature... I sat there on Saturday and I thought, there's no way we shouldn't be challenging with this depth of support and just the passion.
Yeah, the last game of the season was phenomenal, wasn't it?
No way. So
the support.
As far as the board's concerned, glad they gave Rafa a bit of free rein. Obviously, there's a bit of controversy about the last window, but I think there's a bit behind the scenes we don't know. But yeah, it's dubious, but I trust what he's done up until now. We'll see how the summer goes.
Yeah, I think it's split the opinion on with Mike Ashley, isn't it?
Actions speak louder than words. So look, if
he's done a lot of wrong, but
he's got to start putting that right.
Would you rather have like a multi-millionaire from Dubai buying the club rather than Ashley then? Because that's the risk that we're on, isn't it?
Yeah, not really. But saying that, look at Qataris, wasn't it, with Man City? They just, the sheikhs or whatever, they've just ploughed the money in and seemed like they've just had hands off. Let the football people run the club. I think it doesn't really matter who runs the club. Owns the club, as long as they leave the football matters to.
That's important. If
they
lead Charlie. Yeah.
That's the thing. You know what I mean? You have to have the right people in the right positions in any business. So I think if someone does that, whoever it is, they need to do that. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Question for you then?
Yep.
Would you rather be in the Premier League with McLaren, or would you rather be in the Championship with Rafa?
Well, I've always said this, and I was 9 years old when relegated, and they were relegated again in 2008. And I always say that I'd rather have a relegation to sort of purge the dross.
Cleanse.
Yep, I don't mind that at all, and I think it has done to a degree, because if he kept the same players, like Wijnaldum and those sorts of players, other heart here, Sissoko, my God, screamed at the telly at him all last season, just the effort or lack of effort. A good purge is good. I don't mind a purge.
Do you think, just touching on that, the club down the road, Sunderland, do you think it would be it's not a worst case scenario if they were to be relegated for their own sake?
Yep.
And then they'll come back up?
I think for their sake, yes, but I don't want them to get relegated. They'll probably get some views.
Why is that?
Because I want to see the derby.
No, that's right. A lot of people say that.
I want to see the derby, and we want some retribution as well. We haven't won a derby game for how long?
Too many years. See, I'm the type of fan that would like to see them relegate, then come back up, just for the little bit of spite. But,
sure, yeah. But I think for me, because we're so far away, they're the big games we want to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're big nights, so I'd rather them stay.
Why do you think? Well, why do you love Rafa? Why do you think the fans around the area love Rafa?
I think just because of his pedigree and what he's achieved in other clubs, and you saw that the commitment he had to the Liverpool, obviously, never where he's gone. Like even when he was at Chelsea, the fans treated him terrible.
And he won a trophy for them.
He won a trophy for them. He did it with dignity. Didn't complain. You know what I mean? He's just a solid man.
He's a family man. He gets it, doesn't he? Even though he's from a Shores, he gets the mindset of a fan, doesn't he?
And also, I think with Liverpool and Newcastle being in the north, or the northeast, northwest, he sort of gets the people. He understands the passion. So he's probably been the perfect fit and the best man for the job at the time. Yep.
There's Rafa. Yep. Rafa, yeah. Let's talk about the season so far then. So we're currently top of the league at the moment by a point to 2. Is it what you expected? Will we win the league?
To tell you the truth, after I watched that Fulham game, the first game, I was worried. But look, I didn't know what to expect, to tell you the truth, because he made so many signings. He took 11, 12 players out and brought the same amount in, and you don't know how that team's going to gel. So, and I think we'll put it together. I think Atsu and those, obviously Diame coming back on Saturday, he really drove the team forward. I think they're like new signings, and I think they'll drive the team forward for the rest of the season. I have a feeling we will win the league. I think we will win the league, touch wood, but I think we're in a good position to win the league.
Do you think we'll still suffer the odds bizarre defeat here and there still?
I think, well, that's just the nature of this league, isn't it? Look at Brighton the other day. Was it at Huddersfield? And they dropped points at Brentford on Sunday. So look, we thought they were running away with it. So I think it's just the nature of this league.
It's English football, isn't it? Competitive.
Sure.
What's your highlights and your low points so far this season?
Highlights. I think for me, I think the game against Brighton.
Won 2-0.
Won that, and that really put a benchmark down. Also, the Norwich game. I was following the Norwich. This is another thing. I was following the Norwich game on my phone on BBC Sport, and I logged in bed. I logged in, and it was 3-1 with about 2 minutes to go, and I was just bloody hell. Log off. Fell asleep for about 10 minutes. Woke back up. 4-3. I was shouting. I was running around my bedroom at 5 in the morning. They're probably the highlights. Lowlights probably last week when all those stories broke about Ashley taking over control, but I don't really think that's gone on, and I think it was purely a business decision. I think Palace might have wanted a loan fee or something. I think it just didn't make sense. I'm not sure if he's come back in. You'll be
I mean, that was the next question, wasn't it? With Rafa, do you think Rafa is the one who's got full control? Do you think it's a bit of a mixture of Graham Carr, Lee Charnley, or Ashley? Has the media blown it up? Who's in charge at the club?
I think a bit of everything there. I think the media, obviously, they like to sell column inches and the Chronicle and all that. But look, I can't give you a definite answer. But I hope he's in charge. I hope it's a collaboration, even if he doesn't have control. I hope it's
he's got
collaborative.
majority.
I hope he's got majority, and he has the experience. So they'd be stupid not to give him what he wants.
Yeah,
to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I totally agree. In the summer, we expect to go up. What are the problem areas in the starting 11?
I think probably midfield. I think defence is pretty well covered. I think the midfield, I'm not sure Shelvey and Hayden playing together. I actually don't mind Colback and Shelvey because Colback can mop up. I think Hayden's been getting knocked off the ball too easily. I think need to cover that, need to create a more creative midfielder. Watching the games Wednesday, Saturday, too reliant on Shelvey. Like, he's class, he's a different class.
Yeah, I've picked that up as a problem.
Too reliant on him, so you need backup in that area.
If you take Shelvey out the side, we look at a different team, even when we're missing for 5 games, didn't we?
Yep. And I think striking as well, I don't think he'll keep Mitrovic. I think Murphy will be gone. I'm not sure even Gale is
Hackett,
premiership.
Do you think it'll be like another overhaul again?
Maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Not the degree of what happened this year, but maybe 5 or 6, I think.
Final question then for you. It's an old school one. What's your favourite game and favourite player of all time?
Has to be the game that I last saw here when I was 16. I came to the 7-1 Tottenham game.
Yeah, I remember that.
And first time I've been to a game since I was 8 years old, and just blew my mind. And it's just those days that give you the inspiration to keep following.
That was the 96-97 season one for the fans who obviously younger fans will not know. I remember that because didn't Keegan walk after the win in Leeds the following week 3-0?
Yeah, that's right. And probably favourite player, I know everyone says Shearer. I think probably maybe Gascoigne. I saw Gascoigne when I was 8 years old when he came back with Tottenham, but just for skill and ability to just have that creative flair, just to be outside the box, do something different. Probably Gascoigne, to tell you the truth.
Well, Chris, thank you very much for coming on to the channel. Have a safe flight home.
Good on you.
And thank you very much for watching Newcastle Fans TV.